Live from Arkansas's breaking news leader, Fox 16 News at 9 starts now.
A restaurant standing for more than 3 decades goes up in flames. Simms Barbecue on Geyer Springs caught fire today. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Fox 16 News. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. Crews spent more than 3 hours putting out the fire. Our Claire Kreitz was there all afternoon and gives us a closer look at the damage.
The sidewalk in front of Simms is covered in debris, and if you take a look up at the roof, you can see it's caving in. It's a sad sight for all who loved coming to this Little Rock staple. On the other side of Church's Chicken, flames are shown shooting out of a business that served the Little Rock community for the last 30 years.
The smoke pit on the back of Simms was just in flames.
Alicia Williams was working when she saw the fire start just before 3 Friday afternoon.
As the workers started coming out over there at Simms, we started telling them, you know, y'all need to get everybody out. It's on fire, it's on fire. And the next thing we knew, it was just complete chaos.
As the Little Rock Fire Department arrived on scene, flames were shooting out of the roof, attacking the blaze from above. Firefighters worked for more than 3 hours to put it out.
Simms Barbecue is something that we've been going to for years.
Mildred Desmuke watched as her favorite barbecue joint burned to the ground.
It's sad to see it like that because sometimes that's dinner for a lot of people, you know. We've gone there and eaten a lot, many evenings.
Now she's just hoping they'll find a way to rebuild.
We're gonna miss it.
There were several employees inside at the time of the fire, but everyone did make it out okay. Little Rock fire officials are still investigating the cause, but they say it does not seem suspicious. Reporting in Little Rock, I'm Claire Kreitz. Back to you.
Found drone video, image captured on drone video from May of 2019 that shows evidence of damage.
RDOT officials announced there's evidence dating back to 2019 of damage on the I-40 bridge that connects Arkansas to Tennessee. Transportation officials say an image captured by an inspector's drone video shows evidence of damage in the same area of the fracture which caused the Interstate 40 bridge to shut down this week. RDOT is now investigating to see if that damage was noted in a September 2019 inspection report, if any actions were taken care of.
Who conducted that inspection back in 2019? We're talking with those employees. We're going over the inspection reports again. We're confirming, you know, whether anything was noted or not, and again, was anything done about it.
And this is a photo RDOT shared earlier this week showing the fracture on the I-40 bridge. RDOT is expected to have a press conference on Monday to give an update on the bridge's condition and a timeline on the repairs and the findings of RDOT's investigation.
Truck industry officials say things are moving on I-40 just outside Memphis, just not at the pace they would like. When the bridge was open, it used to take truckers just 8 minutes to get from I-40 to the Presley Junction. Well, now it takes about an hour and a half westbound and an hour eastbound. Trucks with routes that are relatively close to the Memphis area, like Little Rock and Nashville, are having a difficult time because the detours just may not be worth it. Officials say diverting the traffic to the I-55 bridge is causing those delays and is costing the industry in the short term.
The industry is experiencing a lot of delays from that. And so when you take into account the congestion and the rerouting cost, we're anticipating that it's costing the industry about $2.4 million a day due to the time that the trucks are sitting there idle trying to move through there at a much slower pace.
Newton says if the bridge closure lasts weeks or possibly even longer, then those costs will eventually be passed on to consumers.
River traffic underneath the bridge is back on the move tonight. The U.S. Coast Guard giving the green light for the boats and barges to continue their operations. More than 45 tugboats hauling about 700 barges have been idled along the river, south and north of the bridge, waiting for the U.S. Coast Guard to give the clearance.
From the Arkansas Storm Team, weather to plan your day with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
We're not going to get a whole lot more days like this as we head towards later on in May and get into the summer months with lots of sunshine, low humidity, a nice cool morning, and a mild afternoon. We had temperatures in the low to mid 70s this afternoon across much of central and northern Arkansas, even some upper 70s farther south with the humidity very, very low. So very comfortable out there. And with that low humidity and mostly clear skies tonight, those temperatures have dropped back down into the low 60s. So we'll call it comfortably cool once again for this evening. Now, as we take a look at the satellite and radar, we do see a weak disturbance moving on in from the northwest, bringing a few clouds mainly into parts of northern Arkansas, but not much in the way of any showers. Not expecting much of those showers to make their way into Arkansas for tomorrow morning. But as we go into tomorrow, a better chance of a couple of showers mainly across parts of northern Arkansas as a disturbance moves along a front just to our north near the Arkansas-Missouri border, but much of central and southern Arkansas will stay dry. Staying mostly dry for Sunday. However, as we get into the evening hours, especially say about 8, 9 o'clock, a couple of showers moving on in, possibly even an isolated thunderstorm, and that's going to be the beginning of a much wetter pattern going into next week. But for tomorrow, another pretty nice day shaping up. Temperature starting off in the low 50s, up near 80 for daytime highs. And tomorrow evening, not as cool as that humidity starts to come back in. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take another look at your weekend, plus how much rain you can expect for next week.
Tomorrow, the mask mandate in Little Rock will end. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. said in a statement today that in light of the new state law and the CDC's newest recommendation on mask wearing for vaccinated people, the city of Little Rock would no longer require face coverings. Masks will still be required for those entering city facilities. Private businesses, healthcare facilities, and places of worship will still be able to require masks. And Walmart is allowing fully vaccinated customers and workers to ditch the masks inside the stores. That's effective right now. The new rule applies to all facilities, clubs, distribution, and fulfillment centers. Walmart also says it's giving $75 bonuses to U.S. workers who have been vaccinated. Walmart says it will support anyone who still chooses to wear a mask.
The White House lifting its own mask rules for vaccinated staffers after Thursday's announcement by the CDC. President Joe Biden urging the 130 million Americans not yet vaccinated to do so. He says either get the vaccine or continue to wear a mask, but he also added the government will not be forcing people to get the shot.
Not an enforcement thing. We're not going to go out and arrest people. But the fact of the matter is, I still believe the vast majority of the American people care about the safety of their neighbors and care about the safety of their families.
On a side note, a new study released this afternoon by the CDC finds the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines were 94% effective in preventing healthcare workers from getting sick.
And if you're still looking to get that shot, the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is hosting a vaccination clinic on Monday. It'll be held at the Mosaic Templar Center on Broadway from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. No insurance is needed, but they want you to wear a mask, and you must be 16 and older to receive the vaccine. To register for an appointment, you can call the number you see right there on the screen.
A Fox 16 crime alert. Little Rock police continue to investigate a Thursday shooting at a motel that left one man injured. According to a police report, the man was found lying outside of a room at the Motel 6 on West Markham Street. Police say he was shot in the stomach and chest. A witness told police that before the shooting, she heard a man and woman arguing in a room where the victim was found outside of. A man is being held in jail in connection to an apparent homicide in Lono County. Ward police believe 32-year-old Ryan Abbott is involved in the death of 31-year-old John Harden. Harden was found by an officer inside of a home Wednesday night, shot to death. Police were called about a possible sexual assault between a woman and her ex-husband. When they got inside the home, they found Harden. At this time, officials have not said what charges Abbott could face.
A West Memphis family is pleading for help after a 10-year-old girl was shot. Authorities say the bullet came through a window of her grandmother's home. As Quametra Wilborn found out, this is not the first time the girl's family has been targeted.
Like this, when you shoot into someone's house with kids, that's a cowardly move. Strong words coming from West Memphis Mayor Marco McClendon after a 10-year-old girl was shot inside her grandmother's house on Holiday Drive. McClendon says more than 30 rounds from at least 2 weapons were fired at the house early Friday morning. Family members did not want to go on camera, but one told us she's tired of living in fear and will no longer be silenced. She says nearly a dozen people were home at the time of the shooting and says a majority of them were children. West Memphis police say the 10-year-old who was shot in the arm is going to be okay. The family member told WREG this is not the first time her family has been targeted. In fact, she says there have been at least 4 other incidents since mid-April.
The family got to help us because this is not the first time this home was shot into. So someone knows something, and you got to come out and help us help you.
The family member says she's filed multiple police reports, but to her knowledge, no arrests have been made. She also says death threats have been made towards her family. Mayor McClendon says that's not acceptable, and he plans on taking action.
I can guarantee once they come to me, I will make sure something is done about whatever has happened or whatever police reports have came forward.
McClendon says he's encouraging family members and even community members to come forward with any information before it's too late.
I'm going to lobby our prosecutors to make an example to show anyone from now on in the future that West Memphis would not tolerate homes being shot in.
And Mayor McClendon says next month he plans on getting back to community policing by having officers back out in the streets talking with people to build stronger relationships within the community.
New at 9, the Little Rock Air Force Base reopened its 4,000-foot assault landing zone this week. It's part of a $180 million project to replace the base's 65-year-old 12-foot runway. A shorter runway has been closed since 2015. Since then, it's been used as a training tool for pilots. The new Little Rock Pocket Park is officially open. The former alley on Main Street now converted into an artistic, useful space. 10 new murals from local artists give the space a splash of color and natural state feel. AstroTurf covers the ground where there are benches and tables scattered below a crisscross of string of lights to keep the area illuminated. Leaders with the Downtown Little Rock Partnership say more murals and unique concepts are in the works.
Very nice. Well, live music, hot air balloons, helicopter rides, you name it. The North Shore Balloon Fest is happening in North Little Rock Memorial Day weekend. The 3-day event kicks off on May 28th at the North Shore Golf Range next to Burns Park. Organizers describe the event as similar to Riverfest, which was canceled a few years ago, but on a more intimate, smaller scale. Tickets can be purchased online at northshoreballoonfest.com. And happening tomorrow, Rock Region Metro is hosting a hiring event for new bus drivers and operators. It will be held on North Maple Street in North Little Rock and will run from 9 a.m. until noon. The company is offering a $500 sign-on bonus if you are hired. To schedule an appointment, you can call the number on your screen or reach out to the email address that's also there.
The House of Republicans making big changes toward their success.
Just days after voting Liz Cheney out of the conference chair position, they have a new one now. This one, they say, will better represent the majority agenda.
And what may seem unlivable or impossible to some is now normal for one college student. How she was able to save money with her unconventional choice of housing. Coming up later.
You're watching Fox 16 News at 9 with Donna Terrell, Kevin Kelly, sports with Wes Moore, and Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin. This is Fox 16 News at 9.
This spring, live your life in full bloom. Discover the vibrant beauty of the season at the Good Earth Garden Center's 13-acre plant paradise. New plants arriving daily means there's always something new to experience. Discover why the Good Earth is so much more than a store. It's a place where wonder grows.
Summer's here, and time's running out on the final days to get a great deal on a new Toyota. Time's also running out on this ice cream. Little help.
During the Summer Starts Here sales event, get $750 customer cash on a new 2021 Camry.
Oh, boy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Attention Arkansas homeowners, are you tired of climbing over that old outdated bathtub? What if I told you a brand new beautiful walk-in shower was only a phone call away? From Bella Vista to Lake Village, Texarkana to Blytheville, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is your trusted local source offering bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. Our products are made in the USA and include a lifetime warranty.
Our bathroom was very outdated. It needed an uplift, and just the shower alone made it look brand new.
It's our triple savings sale. First, save 50% on installation of a new bathtub or shower. Second, ask about interest-free financing, senior and military discounts. Third, receive a $200 Bed Bath & Beyond gift card with bath or shower purchase. Plus a bonus. Call now during this program to receive free sound-activated LED grab bars with your new bathroom. Call 1-800-758-5210. That's 1-800-758-5210. During this program, call now.
We at Bill Wright Autoplex are celebrating 45 years.
45 years making sure you and your vehicle are our top priority.
When you come in, you can expect nothing less than perfection.
Not just on the lot, but while you're waiting as well.
45 years and counting at Bill Wright Autoplex in Russellville, or shop us online at billwright.com.
Great weather, great friends. You just saved a bunch of money by switching your boat insurance to Geico.
It was easy. Folks, can it get any better than this?
Is that what I think it is? That is an armada of tiny sushi boats.
Awesome! I forgot to pack lunch.
You had one job. Oh, chopsticks, wasabi, and soy. Coming in a little hot.
It only gets better when you switch and save with Geico.
Summer's here and time's running out on the final days to get a great deal on a new Toyota. Time's also running out on this ice cream. Little help.
During the Summer Starts Here sales event, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Corolla.
Oh, boy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com.
From the Arkansas Storm Team, weather to plan your day with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
Today was absolutely gorgeous.
I liked it a lot. Still do.
Today was a tough day in a way.
Because we were indoors.
If you had to be inside
and work
I tell you,
this Friday.
I really just wanted to hang outside all day long.
Oh, so nice out there. And we're not going to have a whole lot of these days as we head into the summer. Because the humidity is going to come in.
That's true.
And then it's going to stay. And we're not going to get a lot of low humidity days as we get toward later on in May and into June. Yeah, we got the muggy conditions on the way back, but overall, the weekend is going to be mainly dry. If you're going to be maybe out backyard grilling, looks pretty decent for tomorrow, although a shower possible, mainly parts of northern Arkansas during the day. Much of central and southern Arkansas, rain chances will be slim to none. And as we go into Sunday, a little bit warmer, temperatures up into the low to mid 80s, and the humidity noticeably higher as well. Most of the day on Sunday is going to be just fine. It's going to be dry out there. However, as we get into the evening hours, especially past about, say, 7, 8 o'clock, then a chance for a few showers increasing over central Arkansas, and that's going to set the stage for a rather wet week ahead. So as we take a look at the satellite and radar tonight, few clouds mainly over northern Arkansas with a weak disturbance that's been dropping in from the northwest. However, that disturbance kind of fizzling out. A few showers left over across parts of southwest Missouri, but none of those likely getting into Arkansas. However, we do have a disturbance coming out of the Rockies into the Plain States with some showers and thunderstorms. That disturbance moving along a front just to our north, and that's going to mean some higher rain chances across northern Arkansas, especially into southern Missouri going into tomorrow. Temperatures right now pretty comfortable out there, 50s and 60s across much of Arkansas and to the east, but Texas a little bit milder. Temperatures up into the 70s this evening. Right now across the state, upper 50s to low 60s north, 62 around Batesville, 57 around Searcy, 60 in Arkadelphia, and 59 in Camden after a high temperature of almost 80. That's what happens when the air is dry, especially this time of year. When you got dry air, you got sunshine, you get big temperature swings from nighttime to daytime. 61 degrees right now in the Little Rock area. The air is still pretty dry. Dew point of measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere, still pretty low. Feels like 61, a little bit of a wind out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. So here's a look at the forecast map. Here comes that disturbance out to our west, moving along that front during the day on Saturday. And a couple of those showers scraping northern Arkansas, especially, say, north of I-40. That's where we have the best chance of a couple of showers. South of I-40, really not expecting much of anything. And as we go into Sunday, mostly dry. However, another disturbance starts to move into the state as we go into the evening hours. That's going to bring in some clouds, possibly even a few showers, especially later on during the evening hours. Even an isolated thunderstorm not out of the question, especially west. And then rain chances continue to increase as we go into Monday and Tuesday. And as a front stalls across the state with a couple of disturbances in the upper levels of the atmosphere moving along that front, that's going to keep rain chances really high. And at the surface, we're going to have southerly flow pumping in that Gulf moisture, also aiding for that rainfall. And some of that rainfall, when you add it all up, could wind up getting pretty heavy for the latter part of the week. When you add it up next week, rainfall amounts 3 to locally 5 inches of rain not out of the question across western Arkansas. Again, this is going to come over the span of multiple days, not all at once. So we're not talking about a big flood threat here, but some heavier rain, especially across parts of Oklahoma and Texas, where locally up to 6 inches of rain possible, lighter amounts farther east. So for tomorrow, your Saturday, starting off a little bit on the cool side, temperatures near 50, but warming up quickly, mid-70s by noon, and for daytime highs, those temperatures reaching about 80 degrees. The humidity still not too bad tomorrow, but it'll start coming up tomorrow evening, especially going into Sunday with some even warmer temperatures up into the mid-80s. A little bit cooler on Monday and Tuesday, but that's with increased showers and thunderstorms. That front doesn't really get through, so staying rather warm and humid. Those overnight lows definitely not as cool, staying in the 60s. Don and Kevin.
All right, Jeff, thank you. The Hot Springs National Park, remembering a flood from nearly 100 years ago on this very day, all the way back in 1923. Take a look at these pictures. The city of Hot Springs was hit with a flood that brought 9 feet of raging water right down Central Avenue. Bathhouse Row was under 4 feet of water. A lightning strike caused a fire that destroyed an entire block. Nearby roads and parks were severely damaged, and an iron fence from Whittington Park was washed down a creek.
Wow. Well, the trail between the Big Dam Bridge and Two Rivers Park Bridge could be closed up to 5 weeks. Officials with the Arkansas River Trail say the Little Rock Public Works is repairing a landslide on the trail, and they had hoped to be able to reopen the path during the construction, but that just didn't work out.
Bummer.
Yeah, I know, for a lot of people.
Yeah. Lawmakers agree to form a bipartisan committee to investigate further the attack on the nation's capital.
And what that committee could be modeled after if and when the bill passes.
The Mega Millions jackpot is now more than $400 million. So, what would you do if you won? Got your ticket? This is winning.
Through the Democrat Gazette in 2019, over 300,000 Arkansans voted Roller Funeral Homes the best of the best among our peers. Last year was the 20th consecutive year that we humbly received and accepted that honor. I am Renata Jenkins-Byler with Roller Funeral Homes, and it is my family's promise to your family that you will continue to receive the best of the best when you call a Roller Funeral Home in your community. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect.
Myers Attorney Services and retired private investigator Fred Myers are proud to present the Fred Myers Chronicles Volume 1, A Case for the Kids. Follow along with Mr. Myers as he tells the true events that went into rescuing 2 children from their father across the globe to reunite them with their mother. A bestseller on Amazon, Fred Myers Chronicles was a top seller in multiple categories and will be sure to leave an impression you won't forget. Crack open the case and see what conclusions you can come up with. Now available in paperback and on Amazon Kindle.
I tell you where you can get the best car deal over at, what's his name?
Lloyd's Auto.
Yes, I'll never forget him. What's his name?
Lloyd.
Yes, made me a great deal, a name you can trust. Oh, what's his name?
Lloyd.
Yes, I was about to say it. Say it again.
Lloyd.
Yes, that's him. And you can go online, just check it. Sir, what's his name?
Injured? Let's talk about Arkansas. Rainwater Holt & Sexton is an Arkansas law firm filled with Arkansas lawyers helping Arkansas people. We're right here, ready to serve and protect People of Arkansas, we won't charge you a penny unless we recover money for you. If you've been injured, we're local lawyers with a local number. Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888.
How would you spend a Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery?
I would get a big celebrity, probably like Justin Bieber, and see if he could come out and sing to my family.
Got your ticket? This is winning.
Well, when it comes to severe weather, you really need not just one or two people that know what they're talking about that you can depend upon. You need to be able to say that about everybody. You need to be able to depend upon every member of your team. And fortunately, we have a team exactly like that has experience, they have the education, they have the knowledge that is required for severe weather coverage.
The Arkansas Storm Team on Fox 16, sponsored by Crane Automotive Team.
Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com.
You're watching Fox 16 News at 9. Covering Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia, Little Rock, and all of Central Arkansas.
2 days after ousting Congresswoman Liz Cheney from her position as House Republican Conference Chair, GOP lawmakers find her replacement.
Republicans hope Elise Stefanik can drive home their message and unify the party ahead of the 2022 midterm elections. Fox News correspondent Jackie Heinrich has more from Capitol Hill.
My focus is on unity because that's what the American people and that's what our voters deserve.
A momentous day for House Republicans. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York elected to serve as conference chair. The vote taking place 2 days after the GOP removed Liz Cheney from the position as a result of her continued criticism of former President Trump. Republican leaders believe this was the right move to prevent distractions and focus on their opposition to the Biden agenda.
We've got a lot of work to do in this leadership team. We've got a lot of work to do in this conference.
Stefanik had the endorsement of former President Trump. She faced a challenge from Congressman Chip Roy, who argued Stefanik's voting record isn't in line with most conservatives. Roy ultimately congratulated Stefanik after the vote.
Debate about these policies, but going forward, we have a clear, I think I said earlier to somebody, a whole lot of fodder to be united again against the Democrat agenda.
Democrats largely denounced the decision, coming to Liz Cheney's defense and arguing she's speaking the truth about President Trump and his role in the January 6th riot at the Capitol. Going forward, Cheney says she'll continue to stand against the Biden administration's policies and continue her opposition to former President Trump being a leader of the Republican Party.
The issue is, are we going to be a party that sits by silently while the former president continues to perpetuate lies about the election?
In her remarks, Conference Chair Stefanik said Liz Cheney is part of the conference and she wants to hear from and work with all members. On Capitol Hill, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
Lawmakers have reached a deal on a bipartisan commission to review the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill. The bill would create a panel to study how and why the attack happened, but some Republicans are still denying there was a riot. The bipartisan panel is expected to be designed after the 9/11 Commission, set up after the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001.
When there's a problem to solve, we solve it together, and we solve it as Republicans and Democrats together.
Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has yet to sign on to the agreement. The House voted on the bill, or the House vote on the bill to create the commission could come as early as next week.
A reminder, as we are just a couple of days away from the deadline to file your taxes. Tax day is this Monday, May 17th. That also applies for individual state income taxes here in the state of Arkansas, as well as your federal taxes. Tax day was moved back a month from April 15th due to the pandemic.
Why do I still feel like I didn't have enough time to get it done? A student at Harding University has a very unusual housing arrangement that gives mobile home a whole new meaning.
Got that right. Even her peers wonder how she does it. Coming up, how she was able to create her own home on wheels.
Kevin was a community officer. It amazes me how many lives my son touched.
Police officers put their life on the line every day they go to work. Coming up, an inside look at how fallen officers were honored today.
Super savings at Hanks. Great prices and your sales tax paid. Posturelux mattress and adjustable base, $6.99. Premium memory foam mattress and adjustable base, $8.99.
Right now at Hanks. Fine furniture.
Attention Arkansas homeowners, are you tired of climbing over that old outdated bathtub? What if I told you a brand new beautiful walk-in shower was only a phone call away? From Bella Vista to Lake Village, Texarkana to Blytheville, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is your trusted local source offering bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. Our products are made in the USA and include a lifetime warranty.
Our bathroom was very outdated. It needed an uplift, and just the shower alone made it look brand new.
It's our triple savings sale. First, save 50% on installation of a new bathtub or shower. Second, ask about interest-free financing, senior and military discounts. Third, receive a $200 Bed Bath & Beyond gift card with bath or shower purchase. Plus a bonus. Call now during this program to receive free sound-activated LED grab bars with your new bathroom. Call 1-800-758-5210. That's 1-800-758-5210. During this program, call now.
Hennard Foothills Equipment has been your home team Kubota dealer for 30 years. And for our 30th season in business, we're offering incredible deals on tractors and mowers. We've got Kubota Z-Series mowers that turn on a dime and deliver a quality cut. Or if your job is a little bigger, check out our package deals on Kubota tractors. Ask us about Kubota special financing. Stop by Hennard Foothills Equipment today for your home field advantage.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kinda got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Get $2,700 purchase cash on Encore GX models. Plus, current eligible Buick owners get an additional $750 allowance. See your Arkansas Select Buick dealer.
Everything revolves around time. Time is the only thing going forward when everything stops. Emergencies don't wait on time to pass. Cabot ER saves time with a no-wait solution. Time saved by cutting-edge scientific technology designed for accurate diagnosis. Time created with highly skilled doctors and nurses, allowing you to spend more time with the people you love.
You matter.
At Cabot Emergency Hospital, you matter.
Even during a pandemic, save time with Cabot ER.
Hank's Lifetime Value Outdoor Furniture means super comfort outdoors, plus easy maintenance. Right now, get $500 off sofas, $1,000 off sectionals, and sales tax paid at Hank's Fine Furniture.
Fox 16 News is sponsored by The Good Feet Store. You're watching Fox 16 News at 9. Covering Sherwood, Maumelle, Little Rock, and all of Central Arkansas.
When will gas supplies get back to normal, you ask? Well, that's a question many are asking tonight as gas stations throughout the country wait for deliveries following the shutdown of the nation's largest pipeline last week.
Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has an update on the shortages and looks at the steps the Biden administration is taking to prevent a similar situation from happening in the future.
Drivers throughout the country have yet to see relief days after Colonial Pipeline said it's back up and running following a ransomware attack that led to its shutdown.
And we want to remind the public that it will take a few days to fully return to normal. We urge people in affected regions to only buy the gas they need so that we can help speed up the process.
Eastern states were some of the hardest hit. In the nation's capital, about 88% of stations were without gas, and nearly 50% of stations reporting outages in Georgia, South Carolina, and Virginia, causing widespread frustration.
I think having our infrastructure completely be unprotected from cybersecurity is ridiculous, and we're decades behind most other countries.
The cyber attack on Colonial Pipeline by Russian-based hacking group DarkSide has sparked bipartisan concerns over the need to improve the nation's cybersecurity. This week, the president signed an executive order with a number of measures in hopes of strengthening just that.
We've got to make sure not only that the federal government is secure, that federal assets are fully tightened up when it comes to cybersecurity.
Colonial Pipeline reportedly paid the
hackers millions of dollars to get its pipeline back up and running. President Biden did not comment on whether the company paid the ransom, but criticism is growing.
This will encourage other thieves, other criminals, other nation-state actors to attack American businesses, put our infrastructure at risk, and demand ransom.
And AAA is assuring drivers that relief is coming, saying pumps will be full of fuel in just a few short days. And that is a good update before Memorial Day.
Attempts at mediation by U.S. and Egyptian officials are not producing quick results, and the fighting is now escalating at the Israel-Gaza border. The escalation comes after 4 days of rocket fire from Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The militants sending thousands of projectiles toward Israel, more than 1,800 according to experts. Israel has carried out at least 600 airstrikes in Gaza so far, killing more than 100 Palestinians.
They attacked us on our holiday. They attacked our capital. They sent missiles to our cities. They are paying, and they will pay a heavy price for it. It's not over yet.
We are very sad. Israeli forces stole our happiness. Our children are terrified and panicked.
The UN calling on both sides to pull back from the brink before it's too late. Thousands have lost their homes, and Gaza is quickly running out of basic supplies like gas and water. The fighting also having an impact on the COVID-19 response.
And a Northwest Arkansas group is calling for a stop to the Israeli bombing in Gaza. The Arkansas Nonviolence and Omni Center held a protest today in front of the Washington County Courthouse. The group called for a stop to the bombing and for an end to the, quote, Israeli apartheid, occupation, and Palestinian land seizure.
It's just traumatic, and it's not productive. It's not productive to peace, and the United States needs to stop supporting that, and that's where we're here standing up as Americans saying to stop supporting the bombing of Gaza and the occupation.
Well, Senator John Boozman released a statement amid the ongoing violence in Israel, which reads, the United States stands with and in support of our friend and strategic ally as it withstands this assault. Israel has an indisputable right to defend itself and secure the safety of its people. New at 9, one man's trash can be a college student's treasure.
You got that right, and that's certainly the case for one Harding University student who is giving something old a new purpose. Our Hunter Hoagland joins us now in studio after conducting a thorough investigation. Hunter?
Yeah, between tuition, books, and not to mention housing, things can add up pretty quickly, which is why this Harding University junior decided it's time for a change. While most students choose to live in something a little more concrete, some are living life in the fast lane.
I just thought, you know, why not take my home wherever I want to go?
Meet Ciara Roberts, a junior at Harding University. Her home needs a bit of an introduction, too.
Her name is Sweet Willow. It's just, it fits her and my personality just perfect.
Sweet Willow.
She's old, but she's strong.
A worn-down school bus from the 1980s. Her peers can't believe that this is home sweet home.
They're like, what? A school bus? Do you sleep in the seats? I'm like, why would I sleep in the seats?
Through an unconventional front door,
this is her.
You'll find hardwood floors, a stove, fridge, and bed. And while it's nearly complete, one thing is missing.
Right now, it does not have plumbing. That is just something I need a little bit of help with, and I don't have a whole lot of help doing this. So right now, I walk myself up to my grandparents' house and shower and use the bathroom.
Roberts bought the home on 6 wheels for a couple $1,000.
It will save so much money.
A nice trade after spending a lot more on dorm life.
It was a steal, for sure.
This open field in Judsonia, now a bus stop. But come graduation in a couple of years, she says the wheels on this bus will go round and round across the U.S.
If I want to pull off on the side of the road and sleep, I can. I can do whatever I want. It's mine.
Ciara says Sweet Willow is in need of a paint job and plans on coloring the whole thing green. And if you think it gets lonely out there, she says she actually found a roommate who will stay on a cot in the bus this summer. Kevin and Donna, back to you.
Wow. That's amazing.
See, she's thinking. She has crunched the numbers and figured out, you know what, this is much cheaper.
Right, and she's getting a roommate.
She's got to work on the plumbing, but you know.
Who might have to fork over a few bucks to live there. Yeah. I mean, that's smart.
Well,
good for her.
You can use that extra money for some upgrades, you know.
And then the
flat
wheels,
screen TV.
well, I know.
You know,
yeah,
refrigerator.
All of that. Well, I mean, but the fact that she has a stove, that's pretty darn good.
No, I'm impressed. Well done.
Likewise.